Okay, what's up YouTube? My name is Galen and this is Galen's Gadgets. I want to thank you so much for joining my channel today. And if you have not already, please do not forget to like and subscribe so you can keep seeing videos on budget technology like this. Today, as you can see, I have the Motorola G Stylus, the 2021 version. This is a phone that I've had for around 3 months now, and I've had a very good experience with it. I'll be going over like all of my pros and cons of this device and if I think this is a good purchase decision for you. So I'm not going to hold you any longer. Let's hop into this video.
I'm about to be on. Been on this mission since I first left home. Packed up my bags like nigga, I'm grown. Told myself to show myself to do no wrongs. Like I'm about to be on. Been on this mission since I first left home. Packed up my bags like nigga, I'm grown.
Okay, so first off, I'm just going to talk about the build quality of this phone. So I really like the build quality of this phone. First off, it does have a plastic back, but I will say this is one of the better feeling plastic back phones I've ever had. Where it does feel plasticky is like the frame. As you can see, the frame is like a plastic type material. That's where it does feel plasticky, but the back feels actually really nice. I really like the design and color of the back of this phone, and just the finish that they decided to go with, that plastic type material. This is one of the better feeling plastic phones that I've had. So I really like the design as well. As you can see, the whole phone is pretty much white, and then the everything else has like silver accents, which I think looks really nice. It was a very good decision on Motorola's end. You can see the camera bump is also silver. You do get some like branding on the camera bump. It says 48 megapixels because this is a 48 megapixel camera. So yeah, I really like the design on this phone overall. Now let me just go to the hardware on this. So you do get volume rockers right here. You can see they're very clicky buttons. They're definitely like average. They aren't really bad at all, but they're not the best buttons on a phone. You do get a fingerprint sensor, which is pretty solid. Let me just lock it, and then I'm gonna show you guys how fast it opens. So you can see it opens pretty fast. So yeah, it's pretty good performance on the fingerprint sensor. You do get a SIM card slot as well. And you do get a headphone jack, very nice. And you do get a USB-C charging cable. You only get one speaker on this. This does not have dual speakers. I was really upset about that. I hadn't had a phone without dual speakers in a while, and that's just something you really take for granted like when you have it. Yeah, dual speakers are definitely like a game changer on any smartphone, so I was really upset to see that this one doesn't have dual speakers. There were just a lot of moments when I was like playing content and I'd cover this up on accident, and then everything would like get distorted or lower. So yeah, I really wish this had come with dual speakers. Let me just tell you about the quality of the stylus. So as you can see, I actually had to pull it with my nail because the spring on the stylus came off and I can't find it. So I did have like a few issues, I'd say around 5 times, where when I'd pull the stylus out, it will completely like fall apart and the screw would come out. The last time this happened, I was actually recording a part of this video and the spring came out again, and this time I couldn't find the spring. So I can't really like use the ejection type method where you press this part of the stylus and it will come out. I just have to use my nail every single time to pull it out of the phone. So yeah, this quality on the stylus is not the best. So yeah, that's just my overall opinion on the build quality. I definitely feel like they were trying to go for like a premium feel, which I think they did a really good job with. I definitely feel like this is just like a mock flagship, I'd say, especially with like the stylus feature and everything. It just really feels like a more expensive phone just in terms of feel and the aesthetic of this phone. So yeah, that's just what my thoughts about the build quality. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the performance on this phone. The performance on this phone is very solid. I think it's just because of the combination of a very light Android skin. They use the Moto UI, which is really close to like the stock Android or Pixel launcher, some people call it. And then they just have like a few Motorola features that I'll go over later. Motorola is actually one of my favorite implementations of Android. But yeah, the performance is really solid. This has a Snapdragon 678. So it's not the fastest chipset in the world, but it's definitely not the worst. Like, I definitely feel like this is smack dab in the middle of processors. Everything works really fluid. I'm just going to open up a few apps just so you can see how fast it opens. So yeah, you can see it's pretty quick. And everything was closed, so let me just open one more. Let me do a social media. Yeah, something with a lot of pictures, and you can see everything is loading pretty quickly. And this does only have a 60Hz screen, but I think a 60Hz screen works really well with this software because this software is like super optimized. So the only real time I saw this phone slow down is just when video editing like 4K videos. That takes a lot of processing power, and that just made like the Snapdragon processor slow down a little bit. It doesn't make it like really unusable. You'll just like load times will be a lot slower, and then you'll see a little more hiccups and lagginess in intensive apps like this. I use Power Director a lot on my Android phones, but gaming and everything like that worked perfectly fine. I didn't have any issues running PUBG on this phone. That's one of my favorite Android games. So yeah, that's my thought about the performance. Okay, so now I will talk about battery life. I just charged this up, so this really isn't like a good representation. I'm really just in the battery settings of the phone. So yeah, when I first started this, when I first got this phone, I was getting like double-digit screen on time. So I was getting like between 10 and 11 hours of screen on time whenever I would use this, and that was pushing me to like 2 to 2.5 to 3 days like each cycle. And I'm like, wow, this battery life is crazy. But that did slow down a bit. Like, it's still really good, it's just not as good as what it was. So now I get like around a day to a day and a half, which I think is great because this is only like a 4000 milliamp battery powering a 6.8 inch screen. So that just shows how good Motorola's like battery optimization is. But one issue I will have is with the charging situation. So this does support what Motorola calls turbocharge, which is I think it starts at 18 watts, but you do not get turbocharged out of the box. So in this box you only get, as you can see, I didn't even open it because I just noticed that this was only a 10-watt charger, so that won't support turbocharge, which is the fastest that this phone will charge. So I've been using like my own Anchor like 65-watt charger that will automatically adapt to like how the strongest that this phone supports, which again is 18 watts. And with that, I would say I can get a full charge between an hour and 15 minutes and an hour and a half. So yeah, I am complaining because they really should have put a turbocharger in the box. They're doing like the Apple route and putting in smaller charging bricks. I did not like what they did there with the charging. So yeah, as you can see, the battery life on this, I'd say you can get around like 7 to 8 hours of screen on time on average, and depending on your use, that can carry you from a day to 2 days. Okay, so now to the software. As you can see, this is running Android 10 out of the box. Android 11 actually came out in fall of 2020, so I'm not sure why they did not include Android 11 in this phone because it came out in early 2021. So I'm not sure why they did that, and Motorola does not have the best like record when it comes to software updates. So if you're looking for something that's going to be updated for like 2 to 3 years down the road, this may not be the phone for you. They actually updated the original Moto G Stylus before they did this, which was really surprising to me. But yeah, we will see if this will get Android 11 eventually. But yeah, let's get to the actual user interface now. So this is very close to like stock Android. This will be just like a Google. This will be just like what a Google Pixel will be looking like, except for a few extra Moto features that I will go over a little later. You can see like your quick toggles there, and your notifications are very similar to stock Android. So I'm liking that a lot. It's a very clean software, and that definitely helps with performance because it's not like really carrying too many resources in the background and everything. So yeah, I really like that. And so now to the Moto app. The Motorola app is very useful, has a ton of extra features. These are all of Motorola's like software features that you can use tons of things from your display. You have a gaming mode, and you even have a equalizer. It's just all very useful things. I really feel like every single thing inside of this Motorola app is really useful. I actually have a separate video for that, so if you want to check that, check out my channel. So yeah, I really like the software experience on here. Two of my favorite things that Motorola phones do is this. So that is the flashlight, as you can see. You can shake it and turn on your flashlight. That's just like one of those things that's so useful, but you don't find it useful until you actually do it. And then when you're not doing it, when you have like another phone, you start to miss it. So yeah, it's just a really weird feature that I like a lot. And then the glance display, this is a game changer. This is like one of the best implementations of an always on or ambient display that I've seen. So when your phone is locked, you can still check your notifications and even respond to them. I think that's awesome. I do have a video on this as well in my Motorola Futures video. So yeah, that is the software on this device. Okay, so now to the Stylus software. The Stylus has some pretty useful features. It's not too much, which I like. Again, it's very basic functionality. It doesn't really have any buttons on it like a S Pen or anything, but the features that it has are pretty useful. So when you pull it out, you actually get a few settings to choose from. You can configure this however you want it. Let me show you the settings. So yeah, you can configure it to open an app if you want, or you can configure it to do pretty much any shortcut available right here. So let me go back. So I'm gonna open it again. So yeah, I just have like a few things set up, like the coloring book, the notes app. I set up a screenshot button so you can screenshot right from there. So that's pretty useful. But I usually, the Google Keeps is what I use the most, so if you want to take a note. Let me go back for a minute. Let me open up a new one. So, note. As you can see, there's like a little bit of latency. It's not too bad. Moto G Stylus. So yeah, it's not gonna be as accurate as like a Galaxy S Pen or Apple Pencil or anything like that, but it's a usable stylus, and this stylus can only be used on this phone. Another very helpful feature that I liked about the stylus, I'm gonna show you this. When you lock your screen and you pull it out, you can take a quick note in the Moto app. So I thought that was nice. Moto G Stylus. So yeah, I thought that was pretty nice. What I wish you could like make this like a schedule or something like that, but it has very basic functionality. You can only save it and then look at it later in the Moto apps. You can't really like schedule it. I thought that would be very useful if you could schedule from the Moto app, so I hope that's something Motorola does later on. Or you can like share it automatically, but to share it you actually have to put your pin in, so that's an extra step. So that's just something I hope Motorola works on in the future, especially with stylus support. Okay, so now to the camera. So you do get a very versatile set of cameras. You get a 48 megapixel primary camera that's pretty good with details. You do get a 2 megapixel depth sensor as well, and you get a 2 megapixel macro camera as well, and then you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera. On the front you do get the 16 megapixel selfie camera. I heard this was a very huge upgrade over the last year's regular Moto stylus, so I really hope to see them just keep upgrading these cameras on this. For the selfie camera anyway, I definitely downloaded a Gcam app because I prefer that like profile, and everything looked a lot more detailed on the selfie camera on the Moto G Stylus. Everything is just like super soft, doesn't really have a lot of details. Even when you turn beauty mode off, it still makes your face like really soft. That's what I did not like about the selfie camera on this, but that's just my preference. So yeah, the cameras are not bad at all. This does shoot 4K video at 30 frames per second. You also get 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second. I actually recorded a lot of videos on this channel using the Moto G Stylus as my shooting camera for like just like doing top downs, and it's been pretty good. Nothing to really complain about. You could just really adjust it to your profile. It's a very good camera app. Everything is easy to use and easy to find. So I'm just going to show you how versatile it is. So this is just a normal shooting mode. So let's see how we go up to 8x. You can go back to minus 0.5x. So very versatile camera. You also do get a ton of settings to choose from in the camera app. Some of them are like very useful, some are not. You do get a night mode, a portrait mode, a cutout mode, spot color, a pro mode for your camera, as well as slow motion for your videos, and a time-lapse mode and spot color for your video. So yeah, as you can see, it's a ton of settings to choose from in the camera app. Okay, so overall, I definitely feel like this is a great phone to pick up. My overall view on it, I feel like it's a power user's phone in a budget body. This is definitely a great bang for your buck, especially with the prices that it's at now. I believe you could get it for $250 now, unlocked, and then Straight Talk has it like for around $199, I believe. And I actually saw an ad for Boost Mobile where they have it for free, so that's definitely a steal. This is a very solid option. This definitely punches well above its weight class in my opinion, and it's just a very solid device. Great screen, huge screen, big body, great battery life, tons of features to choose from with Motorola's app. I just think it's a very solid device. I highly suggest it. The cameras are average, not bad cameras at all. Definitely good cameras, especially for this price. So yeah, if you have any questions about this product, feel free to leave them in the comments, and thanks for watching my video on this.